Hi everyone, this is Hillary Ellers, and I'm coming to you from Lightworks Studio. And these are the metaphysical teachings I'm bringing to you. And this is part of the larger topic of energy and vibration, Lesson 5. I'm excited, and it's so weird, well, whatever, not weird perhaps, that we're going to go right on into the color yellow. And interestingly, this will be coming to you, or is coming to you, right at Halloween, or right before Halloween. And yellow relates on one level to the quality of consciousness that has to do with unresolved. And just think that, we all have, probably, I would think, certain types of unresolved feelings. Some of these feelings probably relate to our childhoods, or some of these unresolved feelings just relate to an earlier time in our present lives, or perhaps one of our other lifetimes. According to conventional Christianity, yellow aligns with a dimension that in conventional Christianity is considered hell. I thought that was too wild that it worked out to be something being presented right at Halloween. Because yellow is a color of unresolved feelings and emotions, there can be, there doesn't have to be, and it does have other meanings too, but there can be a lot of suffering, personal suffering, that is associated with certain shades of yellow. In metaphysical philosophy, there is no such thing as any place of eternal suffering. And in metaphysical teachings, people are never punished by God. In fact, anything that ever happens, even events that are hurtful or scary or difficult to go through, happen to give the individual the opportunity to work on bringing something within their consciousness into balance. And so if you can always look at that whatever has happened to you, particularly I think it's important to ask yourself when something that you don't like happens, or something that bothers you happens, or scares you, makes you sad, makes you angry. It's always very useful to ask yourself, what is this feeling about? What has been triggered inside me by the event I've just experienced? Or what has been triggered inside me from the memory that has just happened? And you will find that if you examine your feelings and your reactions, that you will find some opportunity to grow and some opportunity to heal, some opportunity to bring your own energy into better balance. Some people who have grown up through Christian teachings or who have come into those teachings sometimes believe that they should be in hell. And I remember years ago a woman asked me when I was very young, and she was, older. She said, "Do you think I'm going to go to hell?" And I was very confused by her question because it was before I became involved with metaphysics, and I don't think I particularly believed in hell, pardon me, even then. But I just didn't know what to say to her, and I wish so much I had had the wisdom to have said, "No, don't worry about that. There's no such thing as hell." I wish I could have comforted her or helped her more than I did. I think I just said, "I don't know." So, for people who reside in this lower, it is the lower astral level. For people who reside in this level and who feel they are in hell and they are suffering, there are actually missionary, quote unquote, missionary souls that travel within this dimension to help people who are, quote unquote, kind of stuck there. And they come to bring the word that it is not necessary to be there, it is not necessary to suffer. And they come to help, to support, to love, to bring healing to individuals. When I first started meditating, I had a very uncomfortable experience. Well, I think I've told you some stories about my early meditation days, because I would actually make a so-called appointment with my inner teachers to sit and meditate on, say, Wednesday at 3:30. And I would line up everything to be able to do that. And I think I thought if I made an appointment, I would have a stronger hookup with my teachers. So Wednesday would come, 3:30 happened, and I would be sitting to meditate. And I would feel someone or something approaching me, like footsteps. I didn't hear them, but I felt this energy, this person approaching me as if they were walking toward me. And I would sit, and before they could reach me or get to me, I would become so scared. I would jump up, literally jump up and run out of the room. And then, of course, I would feel guilty and think, "Oh my God, I made an appointment with my teacher," and I left, I didn't stay. And I think I was just learning how to adjust to energies that I, prior to this, had not been consciously aware of. They were energies that made me feel or uncomfortable, and it was something I had not experienced. Then during that time when I was just learning to meditate, I would see faces that would appear to me when I was meditating, and the faces were oddly and strangely and uncomfortably distorted. And it made me very uncomfortable to look at them. And I would look for a little bit, and then I just couldn't look anymore, and I would sort of remove myself in consciousness. I would remove myself from them. And then another face would appear, and it also, even though it was different, seemed kind of I would say, disturbing and slightly, maybe a little deformed. It took me quite a while to begin to wonder if I was either going through that lower astral level and I was encountering people who felt they were in hell, or was I meeting parts of myself that I didn't like or that I had not accepted, and I saw them as not whole, not healthy, not good. I saw them as something deformed and very disturbing. So now, I mean, I finally worked through that, and now, even if I am moving through that lower astral, I don't really have an association with that, with something negative or scary or something that made me uncomfortable. So just know that yellow and then green are both colors that have to do with emotions and feelings. So yellow can be a color of unresolved emotions, but it's also a color of movement. And generally speaking, it will stimulate consciousness to not be stuck or frozen. When we move into green and we start to tune into green and our relationship with green, we begin to feel the upper astral worlds. And both yellow and green are feeling levels, but green is said to be the most dynamic and positive color in the spectrum. And part of that is that it's the center point of the spectrum, and it, in its own way, helps to bring balance to the entire color spectrum. Green is a color of motivation and desire and balance. So green relates to all of these energies that are very healing. It's the most healing color, and it involves higher feelings. It also relates to just connection, period, and abundance. So, and if you want to move your consciousness more towards any of these energies we're talking about, meditate or focus on green. And of course, there are certain shades of green that are healthier, and there are also kind of sickly yellow greens that indicate disease or something that is not in balance. But basically speaking, green will help to bring you into balance and well-being. It's very tied in with the heart chakra. So it's associated with love and positive emotions. Now we're going to step into the mental world, and blue and also indigo are both colors of mental activity. And what I want you to start to realize now is that literally, if you begin to focus on blue, it moves your consciousness toward thinking. If you, pardon me, if you focus on yellow or green, it moves your consciousness towards feeling. And I want you to really realize that all of these energies are the same. They're similar. They are simply energy vibrating at different frequencies. And the frequency itself causes the demonstration of a whole different activity and consciousness. It's amazing to me to begin to get that. And I'm 78. I started studying metaphysics when I was 24, and as the years have gone by, something about this work with color has gradually sort of sunk in and gradually made more and more sense to me. So give yourself time, be patient. It's not easy to make these associations or to understand how color vibrates at the same frequency as a whole world or a whole dimension or a whole level of brain and consciousness activity. When we get into the blue and the indigo, we are here touching into, with blue, concrete thinking. And with indigo, we are touching into abstract thinking. Concrete thinking relates to the world of form, the visible world, the solid world. I'm tapping on the table. I don't know if you could see me do that. You could hear it. So blue helps us arrange and organize our day-to-day living. For people who aren't very tuned into blue, they can be very disorganized. They may be quite chaotic. They may have trouble being logical. And, you know, way back when we were studying about the evolutions and we were studying about the devas and the space beings and the humans, part of what we were covering had to do with the devas being not so much thinking beings. They were more feeling, or they are more feeling beings. And when we look at and experience a Devic person, or maybe you are Devic yourself, know that it's difficult for Devas to step into being human and to start having to develop intellect and mentality. And it doesn't mean at all that Devas are dumb. In fact, that's the last thing it means, because Devas are feeling and very, very intuitive. And they hold, I would say maybe at times anyway, greater wisdom than humans that are so much in their minds and in their heads. You know, there's a saying of being in your head, and it relates to the idea that you're all caught up in thinking and not so in touch with feelings. And certainly some people have that going on. Now, indigo, relating to abstract thinking. What is abstract thinking? Abstract thinking relates to the world of ideas, concepts, philosophies, beliefs, and it is not so much dealing with visible things and things having to do with form. In fact, abstract thinking relates to and addresses the world of the unseen. It's not about that which is in form and is visible. Pardon me, I can't talk right now, I guess. Indigo is a color that brings consciousness to what we call in metaphysics the unself, or the unknown parts of the self. As consciousness grows, we come to a place in which all parts of us relate to something in the world. And so indigo would help us be in touch with what we don't think is part of us and what we think is separate than us. And you know, we can kind of be, that's not part of me, or I'm not like that. And particularly I feel when we are judgmental about each other, when we are critical of each other, it's easy to feel that we're not like that, but you would not react to something in another person. Something in another person would not bother you or make you uncomfortable unless it related to a part of yourself you're uncomfortable with. So just know, first of all, that everything outside you reflects a reality inside you. So if you want to understand really who you are, whoa, this can be scary. Just look at your life, you know? And lately, I must say this about my life in looking at it. Boy, right now, I am not nearly as organized as I once was. My home is quite out of order right now. And it bothers me. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It feels chaotic, you know, my surroundings right now. And what I've learned about metaphysically is that chaos precedes growth. That whenever something is changing, and when we are moving into a very crazy, weird, chaotic experience in life, an old way of being is breaking down. And until a new form of being is established, we're in chaos. Don't be judgmental of yourself. Like, I don't know if it bothers you like it bothers me. So, for instance, when my house is all out of order, I'm really trying to learn, this is interesting, but to forgive myself, you know, that it's okay, that it's not so bad. It really relates more to a big change happening and the breakdown of a certain system and way of being that we're moving out of. I hope that helps if you are like me and you can be judgmental of yourself. So just begin to allow yourself to relax and imagine that you are stepping into your physical body more completely. Perhaps this is the first time all day that you have taken time to feel what your body is feeling. Allow yourself now to feel how good it feels to breathe. Every incoming breath is bringing a soothing wave of relaxation through your entire body. And as you breathe, feel your muscles lengthening, your shoulders drop, the tightness in your neck relaxes. Feel your muscles letting down. Your arms grow heavier. Imagine that your entire body is relaxing. Every incoming breath is bringing a soothing wave of relaxation through your body. Every incoming breath is bringing a deep and soothing wave of relaxation through your entire body. Every outgoing breath is carrying with it all of the tension of the day, all out and away from you. Every outgoing breath carries all of the tension, all of the concern or worry of the day out and away from you, and feel yourself growing lighter. And now imagine you are standing in front of a field of blue or indigo. And indigo is the deep night sky. Let yourself experience blue and or indigo, and see your entire field of vision filling with these colors. And as you step into the color or colors of your choice, begin to feel your entire consciousness filled with blue and or indigo. And allow the colors to take you wherever they need to go. In these fields of color, take in, breathe the color in, and allow yourself to be carried wherever the color takes you. Allow your consciousness to be thoroughly saturated with the color and simply move with it wherever it goes. Imagine that you are involved in the activity these colors establish. Very gradually now, begin to return and bring with you all that you have experienced. Gradually now return and find yourself once again safely anchored in the grounding of your physical body. Bring all of your experience back with you. And as you come into your body more, begin to move, wiggle, stretch. Allow yourself to do whatever connects you more consciously with your physicalness. When you're ready, open your eyes and write about your experience. Did you go into blue or indigo or both? And what were those worlds like for you? Thank you. Take care. Bye.